I have one more application to present to you all. Last but not least, sometimes it takes a really elegant solution to come along to make people realize there was a problem in the first place. Some problems are so just common and entrenched in our day-to-day lives that we don't recognize them as such until something comes along and really shows you how much better it could be. So I think this next app embodies that. Now let's take a look.
Hello, everyone. My name is Johnny Araujo. This is Matthew Appleby, and that's Alfonso Millan. And the app we have developed is called Paynless. Raise your hand if you've ever enjoyed a nice outing at a restaurant, but whenever you were ready to pay, the waiter was nowhere to be found. Whether it's a phantom waitstaff or simply leaving your card at the bar, paying for your outing is a painful experience we hope to make painless. With Paynless, you're free to search for any participating merchant, filtering by either location or favorite in order to create a new tab. Once a new tab is created, each item you order will appear in your tab in real time as entered by the merchant. Whenever you're done eating or drinking, no problem. Just hit the closeout button, select the tip you want, and be on your way. Users also have the option to update their profile, update their payment information, and see any previous tabs that they've opened up. Additionally, anybody who wants to register their establishment with Paynless can do so directly in the app. We created Paynless to be a progressive web app, which means that regardless of the device you're looking at it from, it's always going to feel and look like a native app. And now, to speak more about the technology behind Paynless is Matthew Appleby.
Thanks, Johnny. So our stack was primarily React and Firebase. This stack was fantastic for real-time updates as well as quick development, but it's not without some challenges. So one of our challenges that we had was kind of getting a native look and feel while using a progressive web app. So a progressive web app is an application, it's built like a website, but it's meant to be saved on your phone, just like a native application. So what we did to achieve this, we put a navbar at the top and a tab navigation at the bottom, and we flexed those so they stayed there. Inside, we had a div that will scroll vertically, and these things combined kind of allowed us to mimic a lot of native applications in terms of how you navigate through them. Another challenge that we had was error handling for our Firestore functions. So Firestore functions are something that runs independently on your Firestore database. So when we had these running, if they encountered an error, they'd just throw an error into the Firestore console. It wouldn't make its way back to the user, and this just wasn't a very good experience. So what we did to handle this is we actually put a listener on the document that triggers the Firestore function, and then the function will run, and it'll either put an error message on there or it'll put a success on there. And then depending on what we find, we either service that message to the user or we move on to the next step. The more challenges we face, Alfonso.
Thanks, Matt. Another challenge that we faced was persisting the user information throughout our application. We initially designed our React components to each call the database, but this was performing a lot of extra queries. So what we ended up doing was we added a listener to our main app component to listen to changes in the user object in the database. And this allowed us to have the user information globally available to all of our other components in real time. Obtaining the user's location was also a challenge because the HTML5 location API is callback based, and we ended up wrapping this in a bunch of promises, which allowed us to sequence our interactions to handle the asynchronous flow to allow our users to filter by location. And lastly, because we built this application using React, we couldn't perform regular tests in a normal DOM environment. So we ended up replicating the API of React using the testing framework enzyme to create a shallow rendering of our React components. If you would like to check out the rest of our application, or if you would like to sign up as a participating merchant, I invite you to check out our deployed site, paynless.co. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Gabe, I think you put it well. It's like it is a solution to a problem that once they say it, it seems obvious. Like why do we not have this already? So if you'd like to vote for Paynless, like the post, like their pinned comment. I like the students who done, Paynless know that I think it's one of those things where there's definitely a need in the market. If it's something that they want to explore from an entrepreneur standpoint, they should definitely think about it. I could see that getting adoption. I mean, not now in my 30s, but in my 20s, I've definitely woke up the next day and says, why am I missing half my credit cards? And they're scattered throughout karaoke bars in the so I definitely can see the use case for that. It's very cool.